Hello, Ralph Davella back. Welcome. This is lesson number 4. So the first 3 lessons I think went well, and we'll move on to lesson 4 in the book. And at the end of this lesson, I'm going to, as I said last week, I'm going to show you two new things. One is an easy way to memorize some of the notes, and the other one is I'm going to show you in the book all the fingering chart and how to read them and how to know how to finger all the notes. That's something for you to have for a reference. But we'll do that at the end of the lesson. But for now, let's get started with lesson number 4. In lesson number 4, I'm not going to read the whole thing now. If you did lesson number 1, 2, and 3, you'll see all the things that we need to do to warm up before we start playing the trumpet. So it's the same process. So in lesson 4, the only thing I'm going to read is the beginning here, where lesson 4 adds a second study called the developing scales. This exercise is to be played on the trumpet. The study replaces the exercise called play the song on the trumpet. So sometimes throughout these lessons we'll be dropping certain exercises and adding different exercises. So it's the same as in 3. If you didn't do 3 or 2, I have to suggest that you go back and do them, because exercise 4A is the lip buzz. This is to get started. You're going to buzz on the lips, then the mouthpiece buzz. On the next page here is exercise 4C, the siren exercise. You read it and then do the siren exercise, same way we did in lesson 3. So first you do all these warm-up exercises. So if you want to stop the tape, do all the warm-up exercises. Then we get into playing the trumpet again. This is exercise 4D. This is the 6-note exercise. Make sure you read all this. The 6-note exercise is the foundation of building the muscles necessary for playing the trumpet. So we're going to read all this. We're going to form our embouchure like we were taught in the first few lessons. So we have our embouchure correct, which is very important. And then you read what the goal of this exercise is. And the goal is actually to play from the G over here, then the G sharp, the A sharp, the B, and the C. Play from the beginning to the end, all in one setting without taking the trumpet off the lips. So that's the goal, but it takes a while to reach that goal. So the first week you may just make it to the A or the A sharp. Then the second week maybe you'll make it to the C. But this first trumpet exercise that we're going to do now, I'll do it with you. And if you want to write it down, you write it down. If not, this book here, I'll put it on the website, and you can order the book from Amazon. I'll give you the link to the book in case you want to physically have the book. All right, let's go over this exercise before we play it. So first we're going to be playing the G, and you can see where it says open position, no fingers. Then we rest 2 beats. We play the G sharp, and that's second and third valve. See, it tells you right here with the note, and tells you the fingerings. Then we play the A, first and second valve, rest 2 beats. Play the A sharp, and rest 2 beats. We play the B, and we play the C. All the same way. Tells you the fingerings, tells you how to finger it. You shouldn't have any, not that you shouldn't have any problem, but this is your guide to how to do it. So let's play it together now, and let's just talk about one other thing, which we know from the previous lessons. We need to form the embouchure. We form the embouchure by saying M, and then we bring the trumpet to the lips, and we think M, and we take a nice breath in, as if we're yawning, and then we say 2 to start the note. So let's play it together now. Remember to form the embouchure. Now I'm going to give you a 4-beat countdown, and we're going to play this exercise from the G all the way to the C. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4. 3, 4. 3. Well, this next exercise, exercise 4E, is called developing scales. So you're going to form your embouchure the same way. And then let's look at this over here, what this says. Only tongue the first note of each group of notes and slur the rest. Alright, so this is the slur line. Now, so you're going to say 2, and then you're not going to say 2 again when you play the D. You're going to slur it. So you're going to blow here, continue to blow here, and just push the valves down. So it's going to be 2, 2. Oh, and the same thing with this. So you can just tongue the first note and let the rest come out by just pushing the fingers down and continuously blow the air out. Alright, so now we're going to just review. That's going to be a 4-beat rest. This is going to be a 1-beat rest. Over here, there's no rest in between the notes, so we're going to have to make sure that we say, like I said, like you're yawning, you take a nice big breath in, and then you play this to have enough air to make it to there. All right, so here is going to be 1-beat rest and 2-beat rest, but you'll see as I play. Now, I'm going to play it with you here. And I don't expect you to really be able to play it right along with me. Well, it's a reference for you to go back and try to play it along with me. Because you practice it on your own speed. And remember, you don't really know the notes in the fingerings. So the notes are written below, what notes they are. C, that's a D, that's a E. We're up to an F over here. C, D, E, F, up to a G here. So, and we go up to an A. That's as far as we go on this exercise for now. And then above is the fingerings. So C is open fingering. D is 1 and 3. And over here, you got C, D. Now you have an E is 1 and 2. Alright, so all the fingers are written in. So you don't have to guess. You can look at them and figure, and look at them and do them. So let's play this together now. We're going to do exercise 4E together. I'm going to give you the countdown. And we're going to start on C. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Last line. 1, 4. 3, 4. Okay, and that's the exercise. Now in that exercise, practice it on your own. I know you're going to have to go slow. I know it's not going to be easy, but you'll get it. And as you get it, you memorize those fingerings and those notes, then you can actually probably be able to keep up with me playing that. And that's the goal. And it won't take too long. It might take a couple weeks, but what's the difference? Doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as eventually we get it. Maybe a little trick not trick, but something I want to tell you. When you play that exercise, you go from a C to a D to an E, or whichever note you go to. In order to try to, might as well start right now trying to get a decent sound. I know it's hard at this point, you're only beginning, but don't push the valves down. Let me show you. Don't push the valves down slow. Don't go slow pushing the valves down. When you push the valves down, you have to be sure of the fingering. You're going from C to D. So, C is open, D is 1 and 3. So push the valves down quickly. Quickly, hard, fast, whatever works, what you think in your mind that works for you. I like to think of pushing them down. One of my teachers used to say bang the valves down. So maybe right now we don't want to bang them. We would just think about pushing them down quickly and all the way. Then when you release them quickly. So let's go from C to D, from D to E, E to F, F to G. See how quickly I released them? And this way you don't get an unpleasant sound in between. It helps give you a nicer sound. So it's a good habit to get into early. And so now let's get into, I said I was going to show you a couple things. One thing is how to, an easy way to memorize some of the notes. And the other ones I was going to show you in my chart in the book where it has all the fingerings. So first we'll start with the how I want to show you how you can memorize some of these notes fairly easily. Let me show you right now. All right, here we go. So first I'm going to put these notes down. Doesn't matter if they're whole notes, quarter notes, makes no difference. Let me put these notes down. All right, I'm going to put these words underneath them. Well, this is an E. So how do we remember that's an E? Here's the word for it. All right, every. This is the same. Next comes a G. Good. Next comes a B. Boy. Next comes the D. Does. And the last one is the F here. And that's it. Fine. So we got E, G, B, D, F. And here's the saying, which is, you probably can never forget it once you say it. Every good boy does fine. So you remember, every good boy does fine. And you remember you got the E, the G, the B, the D, and the F. So these are on the in the lines. First line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line. So all the lines there are. That's it. So now I'm going to show you for sitting on top of the line. Let me show you that now. So let's go down here. Sitting on top of the line, we're going to put 1, C, E. All right, so we got an F here, an A, a C, and an E. Here's how you remember this. F, A, C, E. So then we're going to say the word face. So F, A, C, E. All right. So the first one is F, second one is A, third one is C, and the last one is E. So you're going to think face. So F, A, C, E. They sit on top of the lines. Sits on top of the first line, sits on top of the second line, sits on top of the third line, sits on top of the fourth line. And you're gonna remember the word face, and that's it. And you're gonna spell it out, F-A-C-E. So it's every good boy does fine, and for the notes in between, it's F-A-C-E, spelling out face. Say that to yourself a few times, and it's an easy way to get started remembering when you see the notes. Now this is the last thing I want to show you for this week. This is in my book, Complete Method for the Beginner, 25-minute workout. Inside the book is the chart, the fingering chart. So let me put the fingering chart up on the screen. It'd kind of be a lot for you to try to copy this down. So other than getting it out of the book, I really don't know how else you would do it, but I'm going to put it on the screen and you can stop it. You ever want to check something, see what note and how to finger it is. All right, here is the fingering chart. Now this is not for you to have to take to look at it and try to memorize it in one day. This is your fingering chart that you'll have. You can look at it as a reference for the next year or two. or forever actually. But so it starts on the lowest note on the trumpet, which is this. That's the low F sharp. That's the lowest note that you're going to play on the trumpet, and it goes up in what they call half steps. So it's F sharp, G. Now the next note would be an A, but in between comes the G sharp. That's why it's called halves. That's one of the reasons that it's called half steps. So it's F, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp. The point here is before it sounds confusing, which it really is not, is that like here's the low F sharp. You look above it and it says fingered 1, 2, and 3 on the trumpet. That means you push the first, second, and third valve down. So you know low F sharp and you know how it's fingered. Then you look. Then let's say for instance you want to see how you see a G, how you finger a G. So you look, and you see this is the low G below the staff, and it's fingered 1 and 3. Now if you want to see like the G that's on the staff, which is the next octave up. Here it is over here. It comes back because it comes back to the G. Now you look at that, and you'll see the G. And the G is actually fingered. Hold on a second. Let me fix that. Just give me 1 second. The G is actually fingered here, open. That's supposed to be a 0 for open. So no fingers for that G. Same thing for the next G, which is way over here. No fingers for that G. So any note that you want to look up, an A. It's fingered 1 and 2. You'll want to look up a B. You'll see the B is that tells you the note. And that tells you that this note is the B, and that tells you it's finger number 2. Now it goes all the way up from the low F sharp to the high C. Then we come back down. Now, not to make it confusing, but coming back down, what I did was I used flats coming back down. So a lot of times in music, which is more advanced, but I'll tell you right now, a lot of times in music, you'll see going up, you'll see things written in sharps. A lot of times going down, you'll see things written in flats. Not necessarily. Sometimes they mix it up. So the chart went up to high C, as you know. So now we're going to start on high C and come back down now. So C, next note down is B, and it tells you the fingering. It is a number. It's fingering number, valve number 2. B flat in valve number 1, and we'll get down into the staff now. You'll see E. This higher E is open. So anyway, you're going to use this as your reference. Any note that you want to look up, any note. All right, here's a G flat. G flat is finger 2. Now the funny part about this, I was saying we're using flats going down, going up. This would be an F sharp, which would be the same fingering. I guess I'll show you. Why not? So here would be the F sharp, finger second finger. See, that's finger second finger. But as a G flat, you see it's finger second finger also, except it's a G flat. So a G flat and an F sharp is the same note. That goes for a lot of the notes. It's not something you have to know now. But here is the fingering chart. If you happen to see a B flat in the music, just go to one of these 2 pages, either the first or second page, and say, okay, B flat. All right, you look up B flat. There's B flat. There's B flat. If you see a B flat, now you're not sure what note this is. It tells you. You're not sure how to finger it. It tells you. All right, so this is your note and fingering chart. So you keep this as a reference. Like I say, it's in the book, so it's a lot easier to see it that way, or you can just go back to this tape all the time and see it that way. So we're learning a lot here. All of a sudden, it may seem like a lot, but we'll slow everything down. We don't need to do another lesson for a couple weeks. So we'll let a couple weeks go by, two, maybe even 3 weeks go by. We'll do another lesson. Most important thing is to keep practicing. Keep practicing the exercises I gave you. That will build up the strength in your armature or your muscles that you need to build up, and it'll give you a chance to absorb all the music that we learned so far. So next week, I think we'll continue the trumpet lessons, or now, or a couple weeks, like I say, we'll continue the exercises and the lessons, and I think I introduced to you next week the metronome, which helps you keep time. You're never too early in your in the lessons to learn how to keep a good steady beat. You learn that at the beginning, and that'll help you later on. All right, so I enjoyed giving this lesson, and I hope you liked watching it. And see you soon.